Hi there, Gurbinder. So more essays from you. Great. Happy to see them. Let's take a look at this particular set today. Okay. Bird flu casualties. Fine. It's not a bar graph. We call them line graphs, bar charts, and pie charts. So this should actually be a chart, not a graph. All right. So the bar chart illustrates the worldwide total number of deaths from bird flu from 1990 to 2000. Data was provided by the World Health Organization. Overall, as it can be seen, the number of casualties due to the worldwide spread of flu increased over the period given. Okay, mortality. All right, now here's the thing. When you have an overview, you have two choices. You either put it in the paragraph with your introduction, or you should put it on its own. I definitely disagree with adding details to it, because then it sort of ceases to be an overview and then it just becomes more like just an introduction to the paragraph. So set it off by itself. It's okay to do that, all right? So either put it with your introduction or just leave it on its own in one little paragraph by itself. Okay. So, the mortality rate was significantly higher in 1997, and after this period, the number stayed the same. Moreover, a dramatic difference in the number of deaths was witnessed from the beginning of the period to the end of the period. Now, that's strange. Why would you say that? You just said the same thing up here, that it increased over the period given. The only thing you said is that it was a dramatic difference. So, you could have just said here that it increased dramatically over the period given, and then you could have gotten rid of this sentence. And you have to be careful here. You're getting into a bit of detail, so I would have left that off, okay? Okay, so let's see. When the data was commenced, no, data doesn't commence. When the survey was commenced, but still, I don't really care for that. So you could have just said in 1999. Why are you talking about 1999 when this starts out according to this in 1990? Okay, I'm a little confused. Maybe you mean in 1990. Perhaps you do. Let's assume you mean 1990. So when the study began in well above 120,000 people died globally from bird flu, and this number stayed almost the same in the following year. There was a significant increase in the number from about 130,000 to approximately 150,000 between 92 and 96. Similarly, from 96, the number of deaths from bird flu increased considerably. Okay, and reached a high of approximately 170,000 in 1997. However, throughout 98, no, you don't need the S there. So throughout 98, 99, and 2000, the figure stayed the same at about 170,000. Okay. Maybe you could have done a little bit. I see now what you're doing here. You added all of this here because you were worried that you wouldn't make the word count. Yeah, I understand that. But I think that if you treated these figures a little differently, you would have had a way to get your at least 150. Your 150 words, all right? There were just other ways to do it. So you could have talked about the particular increases, or if I remember correctly, you didn't include it here, but if I remember correctly, there's this tiny little dip, like in 1998, I think. You could have mentioned that there was a little decrease, or you could have just been a little more detailed about the increases. So, I mean, look what you did here. You clearly meant 1990, okay? But then you kind of really just glossed over that first period, and then this you completely glossed over. You just went from 1992 to 1996. So I think you could have been more descriptive in that first part. And then here there wasn't really a lot happening. And then again, you just said that it stayed the same. I do recall a tiny dip. I think you could have said more in here, and I would have preferred it, and I would have preferred far less here. You could have spoken more about what happened between 1990 and 1996. It definitely needed more description. And then again, here the only thing was that little dip. If you felt like it was still too short, you could have said a little more. All right, let's take a look at your task 2. As far as everything else is concerned in task 1, the language was fine. No real problems there. Grammar, vocabulary, no real issues. All right, so let's look at this one about changing jobs. Let's see what you said. Okay. Although it is believed by some that workers should continue the same profession in their working life, others consider that people should change their job at least once in life. Okay, why don't you get rid of this in life? Oops, what happened here? All right, get rid of this in life. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, get rid of this. I agree that staying at one job provides more benefits to one's social and professional and social life. Now, check out what's happening. Working life, once in life, professional and social life. So that's another reason why you should have gotten rid of this. You didn't need it, first of all, but second of all, it's a little too repetitive. So rather than saying in their working life, you could have said during their career, and that would have been great. So let's try it again, the whole paragraph. Although it is believed by some that workers should continue the same profession in their entire career, others consider that people should change their job at least once. I agree that staying at one job provides more benefits to one's professional and social life. All right, doesn't that sound better? Okay, let's move on. Yes. So you say they should stay. Okay. A good reason to consider staying at no. A good reason to consider okay, I'm confused. There's something wrong grammatically here, and I'm just trying to fix it in my head before I tell you what to do. So a good reason to consider staying at one job is that it increases the chances of promotion. This is to say, seniority at the workplace increases with experience, and in various government and semi-government places, I don't like the word places, it's too vague. You could call them workplaces, or agencies, or organizations, okay, but not places. Promotion is always offered to a person at a not a higher seniority number, that's not a word we use, to a person who has proven his years of loyalty and experience, something like that. Reportedly, recent research by the Education Department at California University shows that 55% of the people, no comma, who fulfilled their duties at the same profession are mostly promoted to a higher position in the same department before their retirement. Therefore, having one career in life is helpful to move up the ladder. In contrast to that's not its own sentence. All right, and honestly, I wouldn't even have put it here. Don't bring up the people who change. You've already told us about the 55 people, so get rid of this sentence entirely. Secondly, working in the same profession reduces work-related stress and anxiety. This is because employment in the same company provides enough experience for workers to solve their problems without any strain. What does that mean? They have learned all the skills and tactics which are helpful for their working life. I still don't understand that. Why can't you do that if you work in a different company? I'm not really clear about this. I'm not clear about your train of thought or why you say what you are saying. Perhaps you should illustrate a little further because it doesn't really make total sense. Okay, moreover, it acts as a catalyst to strengthen their social ties. People have developed strong, cordial relations with their acquaintances who can help them in their thick and thin time. No, we don't call it their thick and thin time. And it's a little too idiomatic to belong in an academic essay anyway. So, people have developed strong, cordial relations with their, and I really don't care for cordial relations either. So just say that people have developed strong relations with the people, not their work acquaintances, but with their colleagues. So let's try it one more time. People have developed strong relations with their colleagues who can help them during times of difficulty. Okay? According to a survey, 65% of the employees at, not the corporal, that's not the right word, in the private sector, so 65% of employees in the private sector revealed that working in the same company was helpful to strengthen their friendships, get rid of ties, and enjoy the professional life. That doesn't make sense. It was helpful to enjoy the professional life. All right, fine. This shouldn't be the beginning of a new sentence. That should have been a linker to the previous sentence. So instead say, however, this was not the case when people hop from one place to another while switching their job. Okay, again, it's a little awkward. It's the same thing as up here. I didn't really feel like it belonged. So you could have gotten rid of it. In conclusion, while people have their own opinion about having a stable career or experience more than... That doesn't make sense. In conclusion, while people have their own opinion about having a stable career or experiencing more than one job, I reiterate my opinion that a single career in one's professional life, apostrophe S one's, brings more benefits than changing more than one job does. You have no full stop here, which makes me think that you didn't have enough time to complete the sentence, and that's a problem because you absolutely have to finish your sentence. You have to put a full stop. Otherwise, the examiner is going to think that you didn't finish your paragraph and that it's an incomplete essay, and that is going to detract from your coherence and cohesion score. Okay, there were a lot of wrong word choices for me here, and it was a problem. I didn't really feel like you were saying what you wanted to say. So there was absolutely some imprecision with the words. A little bit of a strain, a little bit, not too much of a strain, but there was some confusion. It did lose coherence at certain points. What else did I want to tell you? Now, here's another thing. Take a look at the essay. They have this comparison here. Some people should stay in the same jobs. Some people think they should switch jobs. You decided only to focus on the staying in one job. That's one way to do this, okay, for sure, but you also have to consider that maybe a more well-developed essay would have included looking at both sides. So for them to present this dilemma to you, perhaps there's some reason for it, and perhaps there is some value in looking at the benefits of switching jobs. What are they? Why do some people think that they're benefits? What could those benefits possibly be? So maybe you should have looked at that as well. In the first paragraph, you could have analyzed what some of those potential benefits are. Okay? And I'm saying this because they do have this dilemma here. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Which statement? The first one or the second one? So perhaps you should have analyzed both of the sides, saying that, yes, on the one hand, I can see that there is some value in switching jobs. This happens, that happens, and the other thing happens. However, on the whole, I believe that staying in the same job provides far more benefits. All right, so something like that might have been a nice way to develop this essay, okay? Something to think about as you continue in the course and you write essays for us. Okay, so go ahead and correct these essays, add the errors to your error correction list, and write us another set. Let's meet back here with your new essays. Let's see how you do. So wishing you lots of luck.